I spent $7,000 on BTS concert tickets. I'm going to tell you how I did it and why I did it. First thing, I want to acknowledge that I'm incredibly privileged. I don't necessarily think everything that I say in this video is going to be accessible to everyone. That being said, if you want to plan to do something like this in the future, maybe this video can help you. I became a BTS fan in May of 2023. I did miss Yoongi's concerts, but I did manage to see Jin and Hobi's. In between that time, I knew that I wanted to see BTS go on tour when they came back, so I knew that I had to save and be strategic. There is no real secret to saving. However, I will tell you a few things that makes it easier for me to save. I don't have a car. I don't have kids. I have a partner whom I share expenses with. And for the most part, any spare income that I have goes towards appreciating music or towards my savings. So now you know why it's easier for me to save. I'm going to tell you how I kept myself on track with saving. For every paycheck, barring like any extenuating circumstances, I saved about 7% of my paycheck. I also skipped out on a lot of Hive merch. And while I did make sure that I supported every single member's solo comeback, I didn't necessarily buy every single variant that came out with every single album. Once tour was announced, I was about $2,000 shy of my savings goal. That was fine. This is when strategy kicked in. Regardless of how much you plan to spend on concerts, you should have some type of financial strategy before you get into the Ticketmaster queue. Before tour was announced, I made sure to list out exactly how much I was willing to spend for which type of seat would be in the stadiums. So if I was going for nosebleed tickets, I knew that I couldn't spend more than this amount. Same thing for lower bowl, floor, VIP, etc. And while I couldn't decide exactly where BTS was going to tour, I knew that I was going to be avoiding more major hubs like Los Angeles, Las Vegas, New York, etc., in order to make my money go further. Everything I'm about to say, and quite frankly have said, is not necessarily financial advice. That being said, I did use credit cards in order to pull all of this off. Not to afford it, but to pull all of it off. Anyone who has ever fought in the Ticketmaster war knows that being quick is key. By having an established budget for every single area of the stadium and a credit card that I knew would not be maxed out, I was able to be as quick as possible when grabbing tickets. Beyond making sure I had a full credit card balance, I also made sure I was using a credit card that would give me points. I use those points not only to pay back myself, but also to help book some hotels and flights. So overall, win-win. Saving and strategizing aside, nothing can really prepare you for the day of ticketing. Obviously, I had a lot of grand plans about how the time was going to go, but I did end up overspending on some tickets while being well within budget on the other ones. The most expensive ticket that I bought was $649.50 for a VIP soundcheck ticket. The cheapest ticket that I bought was a nosebleed, and it was $172.95. If you have gotten this far, please make sure that you pre-save Arirang on Spotify and Apple Music, or wherever you listen to music. Make sure that you're saving it. I actually want that more than I want anyone to subscribe or like this video. That being said, I am planning on making a part 2 where I talk about how I survived the Ticketmaster war, so stick around for that. Bye!